Hi Gemini, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's have a look, see what the week ahead has in store for you. So for your key to the week, you have the Chariot card, right? So it's been a few weeks for you guys, right? We saw this in previous weeks. It's been quite challenging and a little bit rocky for you guys. You currently have Venus in your sign, but she is going retrograde. Now, even in retrograde motion, Venus is offering you blessings, but she's also enhancing your own innate inner beauty and also helping you shine. The fact that she's going retrograde means that she's starting to give you an understanding, a deeper understanding of yourself, what is beautiful about you, and ultimately how you need to express that. What she'll also be doing is giving you this almost like this sense of what it is, what's the next step, where it is that you go from here, what is it that you're starting to think about welcoming into your life. It does represent a big, a big change for you, because she's going to be hanging out there for a while. So she's harmonizing you, she's beautifying you, she's making all of your natural attributes and talents come to the fore and shine. Now, you've got the Chariot card here as what's permeating your entire week. And the Chariot card is that victory, that success. But one of its other levels, it also talks about conquering some aspect of yourself. And I feel like this is that moment. I feel like this week is going to be one of those out of the darkness and into the light moments. This is where you're saying, you know what, I've managed to get through it. This is where you conquer maybe an aspect of yourself, you know, where it was kind of quite heavy for the last 3 weeks for you guys. Maybe this week you're actually saying to yourself, you know what, I'm going to step out of the I'm stepping into the light. Maybe this is you stepping out of that, you know, saying, you know what, all right, things are challenging, life is what it is, but that doesn't mean I have to succumb to it. So for your actions and your actions and options, should I say, you have the 8 of Cups, and you really are. So look at this, right? Straight away, you're stepping out of that current experience and into a new one. The 8 of Cups is about walking away from disappointments, but it's also where you choose to take your power back. And this week, this is exactly what you're doing. It's exactly what you're saying. It comes through the guise of that Chariot card, right? So this is about you delving into your emotions and asking yourself, where is it that I've allowed fear to hold me back? Where is it that I have allowed previous partners, previous expressions, previous, anything in my past? Where is it that I've allowed those things to take my personal power and to stop me living in the way that I would like to, or to stop me expressing who I truly am at my deepest levels? It's time for you to step out of that now, and it's time for you to let it go. This is the time, or should I say, this is a week where you can really address those emotional imbalances that you may have felt over the years and really get to grips with how you move beyond them. All right, for your communications and conversations, you have the 3 of Swords, right? So this isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? Because the 3 of Swords is about what you're letting go of. And when I say letting go of, this is where something is actually removed from your life. The 3 of Swords could see you releasing a job. It could see you releasing a relationship. For some of you, this could be about a friendship. Look at this, right? Your 8 of Cups is about you walking away from it, whereas the 3 of Swords is about you saying, you know what, I'm letting it go, right? This is where I'm having that, it's where I'm having that come to me moment. Forget a come to God or come to Jesus. This is a moment of saying, you know what, I'm coming to me. This week, it does look like you're having a conversation with somebody. This may be a friend, it may be a partner, maybe even if it's a boss or an employer. It does look like you are removing something from your life. And the reason being is because rather than forcing someone else to choose you, you're doing it yourself. It's kind of like you're saying, you know what, I will choose me. I don't need somebody else to choose me because I will choose myself. And you're communicating this to the world. That Three of Swords also as well, for those of you that have jobs that have been a bit shaky, that you might be wondering, you know, am I going to lose the job? Is it going to be there? It does look like you are consciously choosing to let it go in favor of something else, which is, you know, again, not necessarily a bad thing. For your money and materials, you have the Ten of Swords. Okay, so not a great card, I have to say. The Ten of Swords is quite a challenging card, so I'm going to pull another one for this to see what's going on. Your Ten of Swords is an ending or a completion when it comes to your money, when it comes to your materials. Now, because it is an ending, this really feels for me like a lot of you, look at this right next to the Three of Swords, maybe this is a financial burden that wasn't necessarily yours. Maybe this is where you have been supporting somebody else, paying for somebody else, prepping or propping somebody else up. And this Ten of Swords is kind of that moment where you say, you know what, no more. And because it's coupled with the Three of Swords here, this does look like it may very well be a challenging conversation. It does look like you're either calling somebody out on their behavior, maybe you are expressing something that you're unhappy about, but when it comes to your money and materials, there is something that you're phasing out. And I say phasing out, it's actually something that you're just letting go. And the reason you're letting it go is because you want to welcome in its opposite, right? You've got the Ten of Cups there with the Ten of Swords there with the Ten of Cups right over it. And that for me is a very clear message. What you have at the moment is a very clear idea of what you want from your home, what you want from your money, what you want from your health. Your whole life at the moment, you have a very clear picture of where you want it to be or where you want it to go, which is not something that everybody has at this moment in time. So consider that in and of itself a blessing, right? And with your Ten of Cups, this is about you saying, I want to welcome more abundance. I want to welcome more happiness, more security and stability into my life. It does look like that opportunity is coming. And for a lot of you, this is about you making that decision to welcome in a different job, a different avenue of earning money, a different avenue of how you, how you make your money, what it is that you do for money, what it is that you do for work. This is going through a big flux this week. And I actually feel like a lot of you are leading this consciously. It's like you're saying, you know what? I'm not going to be beholden to the outside external world. I will make a change myself and I will sit with that no matter what comes from it. For your love and romance, you have the Queen of Swords. All right, so for those of you that are partnered, you are prepared to fight for your relationship. You are prepared to stand up for it. For those of you that are partnered, maybe you're having to stand up for your relationship. Maybe you're having to have some of those, tough, challenging conversations with a relationship partner. But what this actually says to you is, by expressing that, it gives somebody else the understanding that, wow, okay, if they're fighting for the relationship, then that means that actually there's no plans to get rid of me, but they're not going to hold around. They're not going to, they're not going to hold on or hang around, should I say, if I'm not invested. So it does look like you are maybe not necessarily giving an ultimatum, but it does look like you might be having, that firm conversation with somebody. For those of you that are single, this looks like you are more focused on creating the life that you want than you are on gaining a relationship at this moment in time. When it comes to love, my advice to those of you that are partnered, don't let people interfere in your relationship this week, especially because they could cause a lot more damage than at any other time. And for those of you that are single, when it comes to that friend that wants to set you up, no, honey, no, not this week. The energy isn't there for it. Even with these cards, I still maintain that this is actually a lighter week than you guys have had in a while. I know it's been quite challenging for you, and it looks like you're coming out the other side of it. Your Chariot card with the Eight of Cups, we talked about. Your Chariot card with the Three of Swords. This is about you letting something go and walking away from it like a boss. This isn't about you being fired. It's about you choosing to make a step away from something. It also looks like maybe you're having that challenging conversation with a partner or a loved one, it's definitely possible. And when it comes to your money and materials, it's almost like you're saying, you know what, I'm going to create another revenue stream. I'm going to create another income. I'm not going to allow this to be where everything comes to a stop, an end, a close, or an upheaval for me. You know, it's interesting because they kind of cancel each other out. But I really do feel like there is some sort of new work, some sort of new professional life is on the horizon. And I kind of feel like you're more focused on that than you are anything else. Even this thing with relationships, I kind of feel like you're saying, you know what, that's not as important as this is. It's more about establishing myself first. Everything else can come after. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. And remember, something that's just come to me from that Chariot card. Sometimes the best way for you to get ahead, sometimes the victory or the success that you actually have, sometimes the victory or the success that you experience is just getting through everything unscathed. All right, just being able to deal with what is unscathed. With that said, take care and I'll see you soon.